Day 5, Miami Hurricane practice. Just a few notes on the day. KJ Osborne, I mean, should be very, very good for us. He gave a couple DBs the business today, and basically nobody can guard him. Nobody can guard him. And he works really, really hard. I mean, we've all heard the stories about him working, but I've seen him working. I've seen how hard KJ Osborne goes. He stays after practice, catches balls 30, 45 minutes. Look like it's paying off for this guy. Another thing I want to talk about is an aspect that I think Manny Diaz brings to the team. I know we always talk about talent, 5-star, 4-star, getting talent in. I'm one to believe that as long as Coral Gables is located, okay, let me rephrase that. As long as University of Miami is located in Coral Gables, South Florida, mecca of football, mecca of speed, there will always be talent on the roster. There's always talent on University of Miami roster. Our defense may have not been great these last couple years, but we've had a very good defense. And it was some talent, and it was something that Manny Diaz brings to the table, which is energy, turnover chain. He's energetic, he's modern, he understands the kids, he let them have fun, and I think things are simple. They play fast and they go forward. They play at us. They're not thinking as much, so they can play fast. They play fast and they run around, so it looks like it's. Manny once explained to me one time in an interview that once it looks like you have 12, 13, 14 kids on the field, then that's when you know you've reached your pinnacle. You've reached your potential, what you're trying to do, because that means they understand and that they're playing fast. Manny Diaz brings, I don't want to use the word swagger, that's kind of cliche. He brings a energy to the team, to the whole coaching staff, to the team, that makes you want to play for him, and it allows you to play fast. So whatever they were trying to get across on the defense, whatever the scheme was, the kids understood it and they were able to play fast in it. If that can ooze over, or if that can somehow catch on to the offense, that same understanding of things, playing fast, playing with speed, playing just knowing where I have to be at, and I don't have to think as much, so I can use my South Florida speed to kind of make up for maybe the height or maybe the size that we're lacking. If that can ooze over to the offense, I think Manny turns this thing around fast. And that's me, Darryl Streeter, talking from Footballville, Caneville. I think he can turn this thing around fast. If that same turnover, let's just call it the turnover chain energy. If that same turnover chain energy is injected into our offense, I see Enos. Enos is a disciplined, fiery. He ain't laid back. He ain't Rick. I tell you that. He's a disciplined, fiery guy. If that same energy can ooze over, or that same energy can be, if the offense can grasp that same energy and the offense play with that same energy and that same speed, and Manny can get that throughout the staff, I think they can turn this thing around fast. I think that you can win like that because of the athletes that you're getting out of South Florida. Most don't understand. I spoke with a Florida State coach recently. Florida State coach, recruiter. I say, so look, listen, hey, since you've been around, I mean, you've traveled around the nation recruiting, what's the difference with South Florida kids? I mean, is there a difference? Is the myth true? Is Florida the mecca of football? Are all the athletes down here? What do you see when you go to these other cities? And he said it's true. He said our kids have raw football talent. They may not have the skill set coming out of college. They may not have the size coming out of college because they're eating Cheetos and sodas for dinner. But as far as raw football talent with upside, headroom to grow, it's South Florida. The South Florida kids, this is the mecca of football. So if you have a ton on them, if you have a ton, y'all in the live. If you have a ton of them on your team, all you need to do is coach them up. It's leadership. That's it. It's leadership. It's people wanting to run through a wall for you. I know that may sound cliche, but that's what it is. People buying into what you're doing. Kids buying into what you're doing, wanting to run through a wall for you, and you're leading them to the promised land, or whatever you want to call it. So yes, recap. University of Miami will always have talent on their roster because it sits in the middle of Coral Gables. That's like you sitting, that's like you living, I don't know. It's like you living at the end of a rainbow. That's a bad analogy. It's like you living in a strip club and can't like get girls. Like you live in the strip club. I mean, if you live in the strip club, then you should eventually turn into a pimp or something. I mean, I would think so if your house, like you slept at the strip. You get what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that as long as Coral Gables, as long as University of Miami is in Coral Gables, South Florida, the mecca of football, there will be talent on the roster. That talent has to be coached up, people. Period. Leadership and coaching. That talent has to be coached up. Those kids have to be led to win. 2020, I'm no longer blaming kids. I'm blaming leaders and coaches. That's what it's about. Caneville, man, 305. Y'all make sure y'all go follow the new. And at Footballville, we finally acquired that Twitter. Go follow us. Darryl Street of Footballville, man. We out here. We still.